Give me your keys and get out of your car. Imagine hearing that with a gun pointed at you. Carjackings are the new crime of opportunity. It's happening nationwide, and it is the pulse of America tonight. The headlines are inescapable, case after case, even in broad daylight, like this one in New York City, one of 3 carjackings this week, less than an hour apart. Police body cam video also showing some of the harrowing moments as officers respond and bystanders look on in disbelief. An off-duty police officer was shot and killed in a New Year's Eve carjacking in Cleveland, an 18-year-old accused in that case. In Chicago, Cook County reports more than 2,000 carjacking incidents last year. This is one of them that you're looking at here in Chicago. Meantime, in Minneapolis, carjackings were up more than 500% in 2020 and up another 57% last year. And just recently, a former pro football player with the Vikings jumped in to stop a carjacking outside a suburban preschool. The victim was a woman who was there to pick up her kids. In Philadelphia, a U.S. Congresswoman, Mary Gay Scanlon, was carjacked at gunpoint right before Christmas. Authorities found her car in Delaware. Carjackings jumped 76% in the city of brotherly love last year. In fact, just last night, police say a 60-year-old man shot a teenager who tried to carjack him. The city has now published an instructional guide telling residents how to survive a carjacking. It's titled Carjacking: What You Should Know. One piece of advice: never stop and help stranded motorists. Certainly unfortunate to hear that, because a lot of folks do need help. Now, this is happening coast to coast. Already this year, in 2022, Chicago police have made at least 56 carjacking arrests, and we're just 2 weeks in. The city even has a carjacking task force. Philly's nearing 100 carjackings for the year so far. Chances are, wherever you live, you have not only heard about this problem, but you're worried about it as well. And that's where we start tonight. I knew just who to call on this. My good friend Roe Conn, working the carjacking detail with the Cook County Sheriff's Office. And Roe, we see the headlines. It seems to be happening everywhere. Put this into perspective for us. How serious is this? It's
very serious, and it continues to grow. And as you pointed out in your intro, there are tons and tons and tons of cases, 2,100 cases in Cook County. And that includes attempts, which were about 120, and then close to 2,000 cases, most of them in the city, but you still had a couple hundred in the suburbs.
Why is it happening, Roe? Is it a crime of opportunity?
It's a really easy crime to commit, because if you have a gun, you just walk up to the individual that you want to carjack, point that gun, people get out of the car immediately once they see it. And then it's really hard to prosecute, because there are all kinds of tricks to the trade for some of these folks who are doing it, in which they can find a way to, especially now with COVID and masks, it's very hard to make an identification. Right. They'll switch drivers after they take off in the cars, so that if they actually do get arrested, that the individual won't be able to identify them, the victim won't be able to identify them. And these are sophisticated people who are doing this. This is really not, even the kids are sophisticated who are doing it.
Right. Well, I'm going to talk to you about the kids in a minute, but talk about how this happens. To your point, there's typically a chase vehicle with people in it, right? And then people in the car jump out, carjack the car. Both cars then will meet up later, you say, and switch drivers?
They can meet up a minute later. They just have to get out of the immediate area, and then they'll switch drivers. And then once the person, assuming there's an arrest, once the victim comes to identify the person, they'll go, well, no, that wasn't the person who did it. They'll be wearing different clothes. They'll strip clothes. There's all kinds of, like I said, there are tricks here that they employ that really make this very, very hard. I mean, as you look at this video right now, it's a pretty unusual situation. Somebody trying to, once a victim tries to actually pull somebody back out, or a carjacker back out. We do not suggest people get involved in this. Give up the car. It sucks, Joe. I mean, that's just the reality.
Terrifying.
But you have to, in order to be safe, we don't want people to get hurt. So give up the car. It is a piece of property. We are going to go find that car. I mean, Chicago Police Department does an amazing job at finding the cars, and we also assist in that.
The other thing I asked you about today on this, Roe, is that they want the key, too, because they want the fob. That's an important part of it. So give me your key, your fob, and the car.
Right.
It's not just the car.
No. And the thing is that because they can't start the car again. And that's one of the things that the sheriff has just been doing. Tom Dart announced a couple of weeks ago this initiative with the manufacturers to try to make those cars more hardened targets. And part of that is the fob technology, that the fob technology will deactivate, or that it's not as easy to replicate, because that's a lot of what goes on here.
So who's doing this, Roe, and what's the motivation? Because from most of the headlines, it seems like these are teenagers.
There are quite a number of teenagers. I mean, there was just a story in the paper a couple of weeks ago about an 11-year-old who was arrested doing this, and that is true. We do a lot of interviews with these individuals once they're actually in county jail. And we talk to them about the tactics that they use. And I'll often ask, well, how old were you when you started? And the answer invariably is as soon as I was tall enough to reach the pedals.
Wow. And so what is the motivation then? Are they looking to resell these vehicles?
Three main motivations. There is resale, especially in terms of there's a lot of expensive car, $100,000-ish cars that they like to take, and then they will resell sometimes for $5,000. If they can revin it and they can replate it, that number goes up. But then they use them in the commission of another crime often. Sometimes we've had cases where somebody just had to get home.
Wow. But that's the other thing, too. I guess when you look at this, you wonder if they're just looking for the vehicle, why not just steal it? Wait for the opportunity to find one that doesn't have someone in it and steal it.
Well, because you need the key, right?
That's one more thing you don't need anymore. Huh?
Right. There's technology out there now that you can get on the dark web, and even some legitimate places in which you can spoof the keys. And this is a tip for people at home. Do not keep your car keys near your car. If you park it in the garage, or if you park it out on a pad in front of your house, whatever it is, make sure that those keys are far enough away, because if those keys are by the front door or by the garage door, that key can be transmitted back to the car using a really simple device that a lot of these people have.
And so prosecutions have been harder to come by, Roe, or what is the other reason for this? As you said, it's easy to commit and hard to prosecute.
Right. Well, so there's vehicular hijacking and aggravated vehicular hijacking in the state of Illinois. And I can only speak to that because we're here in Chicago.
Right.
But the aggravated vehicular hijacking is use a gun. And vehicular hijacking is you go up and you just pull somebody out of the car. If you don't touch them, you just open the door and you tell them get out, then that's a straight PH.
Wow.
Then there are a couple of other things. When we catch people, what invariably happens is the state's attorneys are going to ask the questions, before they do the charging. Well, do we know that this is the person who stole the car?
Right.
If you're not sure, you can only charge them with possession of a stolen motor vehicle. Exactly. Did they know the car was stolen? Then you can't charge them with that. A lot of this gets literally dropped down to a criminal trespass to vehicle in Illinois, and that's a misdemeanor.
Yeah, well, I know we've seen the numbers just skyrocket, especially in the last year or two. Roe Conn, I know you're also, along with a lot of law enforcement around the country, trying to address this and doing things to decrease the amount of carjackings, but it's something a lot of people are thinking and talking about. We appreciate you stopping by. Good to see you, Roe, as
Thank you
always.
very much, Jeff.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.